Alright, kind of a quick sloppy response video to Everett's vlog on the brain stuff. He had, did a video with some images. I don't know exactly what the point he was getting to was. Maybe he was saying that the self is basically a subconscious entity, but I think he went way too far in terms of implying that all feeling and thinking is not a self function. I don't see any point in having the word self if you're not going to use it at all. I mean, I can see disposing of concepts of I devices inside our brains when it is brain that does what we are. I mean, we are a brain, and we aren't a person inside our heads. The person is what projects when we're all done being us. So anyway, I see sort of like if I was to try to attempt an image here. So say your senses are open to the world, and so we'll call this your senses, and this is the information coming in, and basically what your brain does is it takes what it's receiving and it consolidates it into what I might call a theme. So this would be like a theme or an idea, and then it I think does the same thing in reverse, reflexively, of course, all through basic reflexes. But this information, once it's consolidated, is again kind of expanded on that theme based on adding memories, other things to the stream. So the stream is coming in from the outside world. Then the information comes in and gets consolidated into, say, a theme, and then the theme is expanded again. I would say all this takes place subconsciously, and then there's this subtle conscious element that comes into play somewhere in this feedback loop, and I think that's the important word, is feedback. I think the whole brain operates on feedback, on reflexes reacting to reflexes, reacting to reflexes. And if we kind of look at our perception, it's moving kind of in slow motion, I think, compared to what we would anticipate our brain is operating at. I think, like a computer, our brain is doing millions of processes per second, and our perception is basically these themes and these ideas that percolate into our consciousness, come into it at a very different rate of speed. I mean, we're really slow in comparison. So I would say consciousness is something is a plane of perception that might be somewhere in here. It might encompass what we're actually receiving, the raw data from the external world, plus this feedback information. The perceptions our brain creates becomes part of the process. And so that's the key thing, is that our own perceptions, what our brain manufactures, goes back into the sense stream and gets reprocessed again. And it's through all that constant reprocessing that things get distilled into what might be a command for a body part to do something, which will also fly through. We'll subconsciously do it. Like when I'm speaking now, I'm doing it completely subconsciously. So that command state, action is completely almost independent of consciousness until I actually do the action. And once I commit the action, then I get to perceive it through my senses. I get to see myself act, and it's that is what I perceive. So anyway, this is drawing's too small, but life goes on. You get the point. So anyway, I just didn't, he's talking neural nets and all this stuff, and I'm sure there's neural nets in this part of the game. Lots of neural net stuff going on, which to me is just reflexes, making associations. But the key thing is this plane of consciousness, and both thought and feelings are provoked subconsciously, but we consciously experience them. So I just don't get his point, and I don't know whether this helped at all, because it's not a great diagram. But anyway, yeah, that's enough of a video. Yeah, now I've used that line 4 times, I think, or 5. So it's the new line. So anyway, till next time, short video, because it's not a very good drawing.